Pavni Patel. In this video, I am going to discuss about the biased positive clamper. We had already seen the positive clamper and negative clamper, which is unbiased one in the previous videos. And now let us begin with the biased positive clamper. So this is a circuit diagram for the biased positive clamper. You can see if I remove this particular battery, then this circuit diagram is for the positive clamper. And now I have added this reference voltage. That's why it is called the biased positive clamper. And to this clamper, we are applying this sinusoidal signal, which is having the peak amplitude of Vm, and we will analyze that what is the output we are getting. So certain assumptions you need to keep in mind while designing the clamper circuit. So that is the input here while analysis we consider is the perfect sine wave, and the value of R and C, here it is RL into C. These two are chosen such that this RL into C product, that is the time constant, is very large. Now here we consider the diode is the ideal diode. That means when diode is on, we will replace it with the switch on, and its forward resistance ideally is 0. And when diode is off, we will replace it with the switch open, and its reverse resistance is infinite. RL into C, these two elements we are choosing while designing, should be such that this product, that is the time constant, should be very high as compared to the time period of the input signal being applied to the clamper circuit. So this is the input signal which we are applying to this clamper, and this is the time period. So RL into C, this product should be, that is the time constant, should be very high as compared to this time period. So these are the certain things which we need to keep in our mind while designing the clamper circuit. So this is the circuit diagram of the clamper. Now what happens in the first negative half cycle that we are going to look for? Here we are applying the sinusoidal signal, and during the first negative half cycle, during this particular time period, what happens that we are going to see over here. This is a minus terminal, this is a positive terminal. See, you might have a question in your mind that why we are not discussing the first positive half cycle. Because during positive half cycle, we had already seen in the previous video of the positive clamper, that is unbiased positive clamper, that the diode is in the reverse bias during the first positive half cycle. So nothing going to happen, or the capacitor will not going to charge because diode is open circuit. This we had already seen in the unbiased positive clamper circuit video. So I am not discussing the first positive half cycle because nothing going to happen. Capacitor is not going to charge to any voltage amount, because RL into C, this time constant is very high, and due to that the capacitor, if tries to charge through this load RL, it will take very large amount of time. That's why we are directly discussing the first negative half cycle only. Okay, so let us see. During first negative half cycle, the polarity of input signal is minus plus like this, and this cathode is connected to minus, and we can say the anode will be connected to plus through this particular battery, and that's why the diode will be in the forward bias. Here we are considering that this is a Vm, that is a positive peak of this input signal. This Vm is greater than the reference voltage V. So this is very important to keep in your mind. So that is why we can say that this diode is in the forward bias. If this is there, then only, and this has to be considered while designing. So Vm is greater than V, that's why diode is on. During the first negative half cycle, diode is forward bias. So diode is represented with the closed switch over here, and the capacitor is having a closed path, and forward bias diode forward resistance is almost 0. This is ideally and practically this is a very small amount, that is few ohm, and that's why this capacitor will charge through this forward resistance of the diode. Now the path of charging is this, and that is why we need to see that up to what voltage level the capacitor will charge. For that, you can see this is the input signal polarity, minus plus Vi, and maximum value of the voltage which is applied at the input is Vm, and this polarity is minus plus, that is the reference voltage. And we know that Vm is greater than V, right? That's why this voltage is higher. So the polarity onto the capacitor will be like this minus plus, because this minus is connected over here and this plus. Effect will be like this, that is a minus plus polarity as shown in this figure. So Vm minus V, because if we see the effect of these two batteries, this is AC, this is DC, so you can see minus plus plus minus. That's why it is subtractive. So if you have minus plus plus minus in the battery like this, then it is subtractive effect. And as this is higher and this is smaller, we can say it is effect is Vm minus V. This we are considering for peak value of Vm. Actually this is a AC signal, input is AC, but we are considering it for the peak value only. For that particular instant only we are considering. So at that instant we can say this capacitor will charge till maximum value Vm minus V, and this will be the instant when there is a first negative half cycle and when input signal reaches to this minus Vm. This is the input signal, and when this reaches to the minus Vm, the capacitor will charge to this maximum value. I hope this part is clear, that up to what voltage capacitor is going to charge, because we are having this reference voltage kept over here. Now we will see that what happens once the capacitor is charged to the peak value. Then the capacitor will act as a battery. And what happens after that in the subsequent positive and negative half cycle? Now diode will remain permanently off, because you can see the polarity of charge onto the capacitor plates are Vm minus V like this, and this positive terminal is connected to cathode, and again this anode is connected to minus. That's why this diode is going to remain off, reverse bias, in all the subsequent half cycles. That's why equivalent circuit is shown with the diode open. This portion of the circuit is always having the open circuit, and the capacitor is connected through the load. Now as we know that RL into C, this time constant we had kept while designing very large, the capacitor will not discharge through RL. Rather we can say it will take much larger time to discharge through RL. That's why we can say it will sustain its charge to Vm minus V for longer time period. And this is the reason why we have kept this RL into C, this time constant, very high. So output voltage would be, for that I am drawing this circuit again. I am not putting this battery part because diode is open circuit, and this is a Vi, this is minus, this is plus, and this is Vm minus V, that is the charge onto the capacitor plates, and here we have RL, and across RL we are taking this voltage. So output voltage is connected like this. This is plus minus plus Vi. So output voltage is equal to, we can say, Vm minus V plus Vi. So this is the AC signal which is applied at the input, and this is the DC part which is being added, where Vm is the peak value of the, or rather Vm is the amplitude of input signal and V is the reference voltage. So by varying the voltage V, you can design the clamper with the different DC voltage levels. will see the waveform for the biased positive clamper, and this is the input signal which we have applied. The peak positive value is the Vm, that is amplitude is Vm, negative peak is minus Vn. Once the capacitor charged to its peak value, that is Vm minus V, the equivalent circuit would be this for the subsequent all the half cycles, and output voltage we had already seen in the previous slide, that is Vm minus V plus Vn. So from this equation you can say that Vi signal will remain as it is, but we are going to add DC voltage level of Vm minus V, and that you can see over here. We have sinusoidal signal as it is, but the whole signal is clamped to this particular DC level, that is Vm minus V. So whole signal which was on the 0 DC level is being clamped to this Vm minus V voltage level, because this is the DC part and this is the AC part. And if we want to find out the output voltage at different instances, then also we can do. If input is 0, at that time, if we put this Vi 0, then output voltage at this particular instant will be Vm minus V by putting Vi 0. If we put Vi is minus Vm, then you can see in this particular equation, Vi is, if minus Vm, then output is Vm minus V minus Vm. So this will get cancelled out. So at this particular instant, you are having output voltage of minus V, this you can see. And if we put this Vi is plus Vm, then the output voltage is Vm minus V plus Vm. So it is 2 Vm minus V. So at this particular instant, the output will be this one, that is 2 Vm minus V. This is how we can find out the output voltage at different instances. So with this, I am ending this session over here. Thank you.